Speaking of guys whom I've been frustrated with, Bruins I've been frustrated with in the past, can I take a minute to talk about Jake DeBrusk? Is that okay? Do I have permission to do that?
I mean, he's not on the team anymore. Why would you want to do that?
Team. I know. And this is a garden level pod. It's only about the Bruins, but Jake DeBrusk, Bruins legend, back in the news when it comes to the Bruins this past week. So I don't know if you watched this sandbagger between the Spittin Chiclets guys and some Bruins greats. It was Torrey Krug, Krejci, and Tuukka. Did you catch any of that?
I saw a clip. Saw a
clip. Okay.
I watched about like a half. The whole thing, but
the thing is like 2 hours. Like it's a lot, man. I watched like a half hour of it. If you can believe it, David Krejci, really good at golf. Like they were all pretty good. And David Krejci, no surprise, pretty good at it. But here's this clip that came out of it that really piqued my interest.
Anything worse than the feeling of being late?
Hey, how about they told us DeBrusk was late to Game 7 against St. Louis?
No.
Really? Who told you that?
I was Ace when I first got to the Coyotes.
Torrey, you said that?
Oh, I said that? I didn't say that. So at first I'm thinking, okay, they're just like trying to put Torrey Krug in a tough position here. Like that's just a joke. But like, why would it be Jake DeBrusk? Like DeBrusk isn't like a Chiclets bro. Like he's not like hanging out with them. That's not like an inside joke. Or I guess if it's an inside joke, we wouldn't know. But like, do you think that's real?
I think it's real because DeBrusk has a history with that kind of stuff. He's also, I feel like the guys, former NHL players wouldn't really just want to. DeBrusk is in the prime of his career playing in Vancouver right now. Like, I don't think they would just want to toss that on him because obviously, reporters are going to be asking him about that in the media these days. So I don't think they would just randomly toss that onto Jake DeBrusk right now to deal with while the Canucks are doing very bad right now. I think DeBrusk might be on the trade block right now. I thought I saw their veterans are available besides Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, he scored 30
Quinn
last
Hughes
year.
is going to be a devil in 2 years. So
yeah,
everyone just prepare for that. But I think it's kind of random to make up. I think Torrey Krug might have said that off camera, and then they brought it back on camera, and Krug was kind of not happy about that. But I think that's just something. Yeah, I think that's just something that it'd be too random to make up, and it is true. And I could see it happening because I think the guys would make jokes about DeBrusk and how he's late and unorganized. So I don't know Jake DeBrusk personally, as do you. I don't think anyone listening to this knows him personally, but I think this is 100% true if I had to guess.
If Louis listening, he might be able to weigh in. His dad. So then, what do you think of this? Because I know, like, we both have really blocked that game out of our minds, and whenever I think about the 2019 Bruins, I get really sad. Like, there's just no reason they should not have won the Stanley Cup that year. There's no reason they should have lost to St. Louis in the final. But like, this kind of pisses me off. Does this do anything for you?
It doesn't make me feel better, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, there we go.
I like you said, I try to forget about games that my teams lose and championships just because of the pain it brought to me. I remember where I was when I was watching that game and how bad it was to watch that game. It kind of reminded me it made me realize, is this what Canucks fans felt like in 2011? Like losing a Game 7 at home in a game that really was never a Game 7. Mm-hmm. So that kind of made me feel like, is this what they went through? Except we didn't destroy our city and put cars on fires afterwards that I know about. But it did make me feel better. It kind of brings up other things in the past that happened. The Cassidy firing. You kind of sided with DeBrusk, which you could kind of talk more about. But yeah, it's frustrating. It adds a little bit more to the fire and what happened that day.
Yeah, see, it kind of pisses me off hearing it. Because I was always probably a little too hard on Jake DeBrusk. Like, I just thought he should have been more of a point producer than he was. Like, he was, you look back and he had 3 or 4 25-goal seasons with the Bruins. And he never had more than 48 points, because he would just be 25 goals, 14 assists for 39 points. Like, that's what he was doing all the time. He's getting a ton of power play time. He scored a lot on the power play. And it just, you just expected more from this guy. Remember, he was the one, He was the only one of that 2015 three straight picks that actually became anything in the NHL. And I think if he did a 2015 redraft, he would be in the 20s. It's probably a little too harsh. Like, he is a good player. Scored 30 for Vancouver last year. Of course, he did it with how many assists did he have last year?
Did he break 10?
Sorry, he had 28 goals. That was a career high. 28 goals, 20 assists. So 28 goal season, and he didn't even hit 50 points. He's hit 50 points one time in his career. So I was always a little frustrated at that. And then he gets a damn good coach fired because, he's mean to me. He's so mean to me. And David Krejci, honorable man that he is, just leaves the country, just leaves the continent entirely. Jake DeBrusk is like, get rid of this guy. And to hear that, like, you couldn't even be on time for the biggest day of your life, the biggest game you will literally ever play in, and you can't be on time, and you're going to bitch at the coach bitching at you. Like, that really kind of irks me. And, I'm okay with where the Bruins are at coaching-wise right now, all things considered. But I would have loved another couple of years of Bruce Cassidy, especially when he won a friggin' Stanley Cup with a team that was just as stacked as the Bruins were in 2023. But then I thought, maybe it all stemmed from this. Maybe that's something that Bruce Cassidy just kept bringing up for, 3 more years of like, this guy can't even be on time for Game 7. Talk about not putting in an effort. Maybe that was it. But it does piss me off, man. Like, this was not missing your alarm for the game in Winnipeg, like Tyler Seguin, which got him traded, basically. But Jake DeBrusk being late to a Game 7, for me, that does piss me off. I shouldn't think as much about it because he's not here. And I think it's okay that they let him walk, but it does piss me off.
And this is a hockey podcast, but I'd like to kind of tie it into something that all Boston fans can relate to. In 2018, Malcolm Butler was benched before doing something the day before the Super Bowl or the day of. And it kind of made me think, like, just two different coaches, one coach benched the player, one coach played the player. What's the right decision in there? DeBrusk didn't impact the game at all, and no one really noticed that he was late to that. But I kind of wanted to bring that up. We've had some issues with Boston players getting in trouble, showing up on time or doing stuff the day of or the day before. It's a very important game. And that's the difference between Bill Belichick and Bruce Cassidy. And then that's another good point, too. If Bruce Cassidy coached that 23 team, maybe it's different. But
yeah, and maybe they don't, maybe they don't set the wins record, but maybe they win the cup. Maybe they win a couple playoff series. Bruce was good at getting out of the first round. I don't know, he only made one real run, but he did coach team to the finals, and he was good at getting out of the first round. Jim Montgomery was not. He was relatively ineffective in his career in getting out of the first round. So yeah, that did bug me. Maybe it is a joke and we're just all misreading it, but it's just a weird one to do if it's not true. And then, Torrey Krug is part of that. All of those guys were part of the leadership team in 2019. Krug, I think, had an A, alternating A, but definitely was one of the voices in the room. And, that probably did piss him off. So Jake DeBrusk, man, shame on you. From the Garden Level podcast. Yeah, that was something that I didn't expect to kind of, I don't want to say ruin my day or anything, but kind of get into my life this week was Jake DeBrusk. And what I really hated about the whole DeBrusk thing, letting him walk, I thought was fine, but you didn't really replace him. The Bruins might be replacing him in the long term, in the aggregate.